88.9 WERS.
What's up, y'all? This is Malcolm for the Secret Spot on 88.9 WERS. And I got two of the coolest gentlemen here with me right now. We got Ice Cube and Will Packer of the upcoming film Ride Along. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening with you?
Thanks for having us, baby.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Happy
Happy to
cold
be here.
and rainy in Boston, though. Can you turn that down a little bit?
Nah, it don't work like that. Nah, not in this season. So let me start with you, Ice, man. Like, you started off, had a crazy rap career. Was acting, you've been in dozens of movies. Is acting something that you always wanted to get to when you started, making music and entertaining?
No, I never even thought about it. I thought that you had to go to school and be a trained actor to do something like that. You know what I mean? I never knew how Hollywood worked because I never really paid attention. Yeah. Even though we grew up, probably, 15, 20 miles from Hollywood. But, when I met John Singleton and he pursued me, he sweated me for 2 years to be in Boys in the Hood. Wow. And first I didn't think he was going to be able to make a movie because I was like, you're not Spike Lee, homie. And then, he was just persistent and he told me, yo, you could do it. I know you can do it. And when I did it and, I made him show me dailies and he was like, man, Spike Lee don't show dailies. I ain't gonna show dailies. I said, man, you better let me see them dailies, man. I ain't coming back to the set. I need to see if this look like a movie. You know what I mean? And then I got bit by the bug, and I saw the creating on that level. It's nothing bigger. It's no bigger canvas for artists than a motion picture canvas.
Yeah. What are some of the parallels between the music, making music and, making films, like in terms of creativity and things like that?
To me, it's two different animals. Okay. Making music, I can go in with me and my engineer, my producer, and we could do a record. We could do a whole album, and don't need nobody but us. Mm-hmm. But with a movie, you can't do that. Yeah. You need most of the time over 100 people on the professional level, at all levels, from accountant to, the editor, to marketing. You need a lot of people and you got to work as a team and you have to be a team player and you got to kind of get in where you fit in and pick up the slack where you see slack hanging.
True.
And, so it's a whole different thing. But, I love them both equally.
Okay. So, Will, man, you produce a bunch of films, man. What attracts you to a project initially?
The material.
Yep.
The material, because that's where it starts, long before we're out, doing a promotional tour like this, before the premieres and the trailers and the commercials and all that, it all starts with an idea. Mm-hmm. And if that's not strong and the subsequent material that idea is based on isn't strong, then, the movie's not going to work. Sometimes even when you have great material and a great idea, the movie doesn't work. Yeah. So you gotta start with good material. So for me as a producer, I'd be irresponsible if I wasn't out trying to find the best material that can play on a critical level as well as on a commercial level.
Mm-hmm. And what's the importance to you? Why do you feel like it's so important to continue to make urban films?
Well, you know what? That term urban is put out there a lot, and. Yep. And in Hollywood, urban really means an urban environment,
right,
a dwelling, big city,
much, right.
Metropolitan. But, of course, in Hollywood, it's kind of like a code for black, And I have been really fortunate to make some films that I'm proud of, that have done really, really well, that have had, black faces in front of the camera, and have done really well and resonated with black audiences. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I'm a filmmaker. Yeah. So I want to make films that are good films that resonate with all audiences, and Ride Along is definitely one of them. It's a film that, it happens to have Ice Cube and Kevin Hart as the two leads, and both of them, you might have noticed, happen to be black, right? But at the end of the day, the themes are universal. Right. It's about a guy who's, in love with the girl, mm-hmm. and he's got to get the blessing of the big brother, and whether it's the brother or the parents, a lot of us have to deal with that. That's universal. I don't care if you black, white, Asian, whatever, you can relate to that.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to do. I want to make films that have universal, relatable themes that a wide variety of audiences can enjoy.
Yeah. So why was Kevin Hart and Ice Cube the perfect people for this
Man,
movie?
they are perfect. Let me tell you. I had worked with Kev. I knew Kev. I hadn't had a chance to work with Cube yet. Obviously knew his work really, really well. And this was a project that actually Cube had in his stable. And when they sent me the script and I read it, I had recently finished Think Like a Man with Kevin Hart. And the director of that movie, Tim Story, was also the guy who directed Barbershop. That was his first feature, obviously, with Cube. So there was a lot of synergy there. And I had just worked with my guys, and it felt like, for the juxtaposition of these two characters, right? The overbearing, brother, big brother, and the kind of, wannabe, guy, who's trying to get into his world. It just fits so perfectly for the personas that they both have a really, really great skill set in portraying.
And who are you more like in real life? You more like Ben or you more like James? When you was coming up, courting the ladies and all of that.
More like James. More like James. Wasn't too many Bens in our neighborhood. They wouldn't survive.
Yeah, I could dig it.
Yeah, they wouldn't survive.
What's set life like, man, working with Kevin and everybody else on the film?
Man, this was a fun movie to make,
Yeah, Kevin, what I love about Kevin is he keeps the set upbeat. He keeps everybody, it could be 4 a.m. You could be outside cold, shooting a scene, and he keeping everybody laughing. And
loose.
Yeah, and loose. He keeps that energy up. He's a total pro.
Yeah.
And I love seeing a pro at action. Because I consider myself a pro. So when I can see a pro at, doing his thing, it's just makes me feel good. And I always would do movies with Kevin Hart if he want to do them.
That's dope.
And I mean, the thing that Cube just said about the professionalism, that's what's so important on a movie like this. I mean, first of all, that kind of energy you needed on set, and it shows on the film. When you go and see this film, you're going to see two guys that are having a good time. That's because we were having a good time on set. And I can tell you from a producerial standpoint, Cube is an ultimate professional. He takes this very, very seriously. And I've worked with a number of people from the music side of the game that have come and made transition into movies, and there are different levels of commitment and work ethic. But Cube is somebody who takes it very, very serious. So to have Kevin, who also is somebody, a lot of people feel like, oh, Kevin is, like new, and he just kind of popped on the scene as this funny guy. Kevin been around for a while. Yeah. He's been putting in a lot of work. He's been grinding. He takes it very serious because he knows how fleeting, these opportunities can be. Yeah. So to have two guys that are both serious professionals, even to the extent that, like he was talking about Kevin keeping the set light, there's a method to that madness. The whole point of that is that it's 4 a.m. and it's cold. And so you want your crew to be as engaged and everybody's miserable. But Kevin knows that, okay, you know what? My job on this set is to be the funny guy. I got to be the lighthearted guy. I got to always have energy. So even when he's down, he's going to go above and beyond and make sure everybody else is into it and keep the set light and keep the energy going. So, as a producer, it's really like a dream to work with talent like that take a project so serious.
That's amazing, man. And Cube, man, from all those N.W.A. days, man, is it weird playing a cop? Like, you was a cop in all about the Benjamins and even...
I was a bounty hunter.
You're about the truth? Oh, my fault. But is it weird playing a cop now? It's fun, but is it a little weird sometimes?
It's cool. It's a job. It's what's required. Yeah. As a kid, I played cops and robbers. You know what I mean? It wasn't. That's just natural for youngsters to come up doing that, and I get paid way more than a real cop, so and it's not as dangerous. So
Touché.
It's really about acting and delivering, and not worried about a record in the past when I was 18 years old. You know what I mean? But worried about who I am now as a man, as an actor, been in the game over 20 years as an actor. Yeah. So people gotta kind of let it go. People think sometime when you do a movie, that's who you are. I did Are We There Yet? People think I'm Bill Cosby. No.
I can dig it, man. I want to thank you guys for coming through. Best luck and best success on Ride Along, man.
Appreciate you having us, man.
Wait, real
January
quick.
17th.
Real quick.
In theaters.
On IMDb said there's a rumor there's a part 2 in the works. What's up with that?
We have to see.
It's up to y'all. You know, it's really, it's all about if Universal is happy with how much money this movie makes.
Yep.
We'll do a part 2. And so it's important, if you really love a movie, go see it in the theaters. Because if not, that kind of movie will not get made again, or it will take a long time for movies to come around that you dig if you don't go check them out in the theater. That's how the game work, y'all.
Gotcha. And when can we expect Ride Along?
January 17th.
January 17th.
That's right.
Don't go see nothing else. They're going to be putting out a lot of whack movies on January 17th, but not Ride Along.
Only
Go
way
see
you
us.
need to worry about is Ride Along. Follow it at Ride Along on Twitter, on Instagram. Let us know what you think. Hashtag Ride Along. We got the screening, of course, that we showing the Emerson. You know, excited about the Emerson family coming out. You know, and letting us know what they think about the movie. So
Definitely, man. Thanks for coming through, fellas. I really appreciate it. This is The Secret Spot on 88.9 WERS.
Yeah, yay.